So last time we started tashahud, and in tashahud we did this first part. At-tahiyyatu mubtada, lillahi jar majroor, was-salawatu, this waw is ataf, and this as-salawatu has exactly the same i'rab as at-tahiyyatu. So at-tahiyyatu, and because of this waw as-salawatu, and because of this waw at-tayyibatu, these three are connected. As-salawatu and at-tayyibatu, both of them are ma'atufun ala at-tahiyyat. So instead of saying that at-tahiyyatu is mubtada, we'll say that at-tahiyyatu was-salawatu wat-tayyibatu is mubtada, and there's no khabar. So lillahi jar majroor will play the role of khabar. At-tahiyyatu mean greetings or compliments. As-salawat mean, in this context, prayers. At-tayyibat, tayyibatun means something pure. And in this context, they translate it as, you can say, pure expressions or beautiful expressions. So it means that all compliments, greetings, prayers, and beautiful expressions are for Allah. Then as-salamu, next sentence is starting, as-salamu mubtada, alayka jar majroor, ayyuhan nabi harfun nida and munada. Waw is connecting this rahmatullahi with this as-salamu. Why? Because the i'rab of rahmatu is matching the i'rab of as-salamu. Both of them are in rafa status. So as-salamu, and then this rahmatullah, whole thing, because rahma and allahi are connected as a mudaf ilay. So as-salamu, and because of this waw, this rahmatullahi, and because of this waw, this barakatuhu is again a mudaf ilay. So as-salamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh together will be called mubtada, and its khabar is again not given. So alayka will become the khabar. So peace and mercy of Allah and the blessings of Allah be upon you, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this was the part which we did. If there's any question anyone has on this part, please feel free to ask your question.
So ayyuhan nabiyyu, this is playing the role of
nothing. Role of nothing.
It's nothing.
It's only we said last time that there's a mahzuf or employed ya here. So that ya is harfun nida, and now ayyu will be the munada, and an-nabiyyu will be the sifa for this ayyu. So ayyu and an-nabiyyu together will be the munada as a mahzuf sifa, and this ha plays different role depending on the context, and in this way this ha is giving the role of sharf and fadila to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this ha is not having any role in the i'rab. In terms of i'rab, we only have ya as arfun nida, which is employed, and ayyu munada, and this ayyu is being described because when ayyu mean o, and who is this o? An-nabi. So ayyu and an-nabi as a mawsuf sifa together will become the munada. And we have discussed in the past as well, the harfun nida and munada, sometimes it comes in jumla ismiya, sometimes in jumla failiya. We simply give it the label of harfun nida and munada. We did not give it any role in the sentence. Is everybody clear?
Jazakallah, clear inshallah.
Brothers, any question before I start the next bit, inshallah? Okay, so let's inshallah begin our today's portion. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. So same thing, assalamu will play the role of mubtada, because remember this rule, brothers and sisters, that let me just see, someone's mic is not mute. So please remember this principle, that when a sentence is starting with the ism which has alif lam and rafa status, that is 99.9% of time it will start a jumla ismiya, and this ism will become the mubtada. So assalamu has alif lam and rafa status, it became the mubtada. And then this alayna, we know it is a jar majroor which has ala and na, and then this waw is ataf. And again this ala is jar and ibadi, so ala is jar and ibadi majroor, right? But because ibad is connected with Allahi, ibadillahi, servants of Allah, so these two are connected as mudaf mudaf ilay. But then this as-salihina is connected to this ibad, becoming the sifa for the ibad, right? As you can see that ibadi jar status and as-salihina in also in jar status. And if there was one thing which you think it is missing, that ibad is common apparently and as-salihina is proper. But we have discussed multiple times that because ibad is the mudaf for this word Allah, so because of this, because Allah, the lafzu jalala, Allah is mudaf ilay, because mudaf ilay is proper, so ibad will become proper because of this reason. So ibad is connected to Allah as mudaf mudaf ilay, and as-salihina is connected to the ibad as sifa, which means that the whole thing is connected. Ibadillahi salihin. Ibad mean servants, Allah mean Allah, as-salihin mean righteous, righteous servants of Allah. So Allah was jar and this whole thing is majroor. So basically you got this jar majroor, okay, and after waw you got this jar majroor. So they will be both connected to each other. So alayna is jar majroor and this one is jar majroor. Okay, so this one is jar majroor and this ala alayna jar majroor, and they are connected with this waw. So as-salamu became the mubtada, and now both of them, because alayna became the ma'tuf alay, and this ala ibadillah became the ma'tuf. So matuf and matuf alay together will play the role of khabar. Why? Because they are both connected. So as-salam mubtada, alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin, they are two jar majroor fragments, but because actual khabar is missing, so they will together play the role of khabar as one khabar, because alayna and then waw has connected them together. Matuf alay and matuf together has become one thing, and this one thing will play the role of khabar. So assalamu, peace, alayna, upon us, wow, and ala ibadillahi salihin, and upon the righteous servants of Allah. So peace be upon us and upon the righteous servants of Allah. Any question before I move on? Okay.
So, brother, ibad, it's a plural.
Yes, because ibad is a broken plural. This one, ibad is a broken plural. So, if a broken plural is human, so it can have sifa which is matching with it, or it can also have singular feminine sifa as well. So in this case, ibad has got the sifa which match with it, plural. So what was the question, Brother Mansoor?
Yes, this is the question. Yeah. So that's ibad is the plural. Yeah. So.
Yeah, ibad is the plural and abd is the singular. Abd and then ibad.
Ibad, yeah.
Okay, so next one is ashhadu. Now we have discussed this ashhadu before as well. So ashhadu is fail mudare number 13. Ashhadu, I testify. So it is mudare and it has a file which is ana. I testify. And then an, this word an. Now this is something inshallah which we are learning first time. So please pay attention. This an, regarding this an, what I learned in my research is that when an comes before a jumlatul ismiya, as you can see after the an, la ilaha illallah is a jumlatul ismiya, right? So they say that if an comes before jumlatul ismiya, so it is an indication that it was actually anna, and this is the light version of anna. So it is actually anna, but it has been made light. They use a fancy term. They say that mukhaffafa min al musakkala. This simply means it has been made light from being heavy. Anna. So an is actually same, which was anna. Now you may be thinking that how would I know that when an has become anna? So I given you the answer. If an comes before a jumlatul ismiya, it will be the sign that this is actually anna, but it has been made an. That is one point. Second point is when anna, as we all know that anna is the sister of inna, because inna and the sisters of inna, in that family we have one member anna, right? And we know that all of these inna and the sisters of inna, they need a ism of it and a khabar of it, right? So when anna will become an, it will have a employed pronoun, and that will be huwa, or basically who, because of anna it has become who. So you will not look for the ism of anna anywhere else. It is hidden inside of anna, and when anna will become an, it will have a hidden pronoun which will serve as the role of ism of an. It's actually anna, ism of anna, right? But because it has been made an, so this will serve the role of an. So you will say that this an, it's a harf mushabba bil fail. Okay, the complete thing is, and inside of an, who, and if you want to write the whole thing, it's called damir mustatar. There is a hidden damir in, and it will serve the role of ism of an. Now you only need one more thing, and that is the khabar of an, right? Now what is coming next, that will serve as the khabar, which means that this la, as we know that we have different types of la, but when la comes and after the la, there are two conditions. There's a ism which is light and in nasab, as ilaha is light and nasab. So this is a sign that this la is la nafi jins. And secondly, I explained last time, I think at one stage, that la nafi jins also work the same way as the inna family works, in the sense it will need a ism and it will need a khabar, which means that the khabar of an is itself will become a complete sentence of la nafi jins. Okay, so la will be called la nafi jins. Ilaha, this ilaha is the ism of la, because whatever comes after la nafi jins, that plays the role of ism of la nafi jins. Okay, and then illallahu, please pay attention. This illa, if you recall in your mind, there are two possibilities. Okay, one is which we learned in the tafsir of Suratul Asr, innal insana lafi khusr illallazina amanu. At that time, we learned one thing, that this illa, what comes before illa is mustasna min, and what comes after illa is called mustasna, right? So one possibility is that ilaha is mustasna min, illa is the harf of istasna, and Allahu is the mustasna. One more time, that this ilaha after the la, ilaha is the mustasna min, illa harf of istasna, and Allahu mustasna, and all of them are connected because this whole thing is connected. So la ilaha illallah, the whole thing will be called ism of la. We do not have any khabar yet. The whole thing, ilaha illallah, will play the role of ism of la. Then where is khabar of la? Okay, so they say that the khabar of la is employed, and that khabar is mawjudun. That is employed khabar, mawjudun, which means in existence or present. So la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallahu mawjudun. No ilah whatsoever other than Allah is present or is in existence. So this whole thing, la ilaha illallahu, this whole thing will play the role of khabar of an in this case. I take a pause here. If anything is not clear, you can ask me now.
If you can repeat that term of ilah, that's an Arabic term, I forgot. And what's the term for ilah?
Okay, no problem, brother. So I write it here. Mustasna minhu. This is the term for ilaha, and just the word mustasna will be used for Allahu, and illa will be called harfe istasna. Illa will be called harf istasna.
So, sir, what is the meaning of the word mustasna?
Mustasna means exempted, minhu, from it.
Okay.
So let me just repeat one more time, inshallah, in case if somebody joined late. So I said that after ashhadu, we have the word an. I said that when this an comes, and right after the an, if you see a jumlatul ismiya, this will be a sign that this an is actually anna. That is one point. And if it is anna, it needs two things, ism of anna and khabar of anna. In terms of ism, its ism will always be who. It's actually annahu. Annahu has become an, right? So who will play the role of ism of an? What about the khabar? The sentence which came after la ilaha illallahu, it will play the role of khabar, and this khabar itself is a sentence of la nafi jins, and because la nafi jins also have the same structure, like it plays the role of it has the labels of ism of la nafi jins and khabar of la nafi jins. So ilaha illallahu is playing the role of ism of la nafi jins, and khabar of la nafi jins is mahzoof or employed, and that is mawjudun. And by the way, this is the same analysis of, if you simply say, as some people say, the first kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So the first part, la ilaha illallah, will have this same analysis, that la is la nafi jins, and then ilaha illallahu together, ism of la nafi jins and khabar of la nafi jins is employed, that is mawjudun. Clear, inshallah? So let me raise this. So this was and then some, there's another you can say analysis for this thing. One thing is for sure, there's no disagreement on this thing, that this ilaha illallahu is the ism of la nafi jins. That is clear. There's no, because this la is la nafi jins and ilaha illallah is ism of la nafi jins, right? With regard to the labels of ism of la, for example, there's some of them, they say that this ilah and this Allahu, they are actually badal and mubdal minhu. They say that this ilah will be called mubdal minhu and Allahu will be called badal. And then what to do with this illah? Now, inshallah, I am doing some more research. I tried my best, but just they only say one thing. They say that this illah is playing the role of the Arabic word ghayr. Other than this, I have so far could not find. Inshallah, I am still searching for the last 3 days. Inshallah, I will look for it more. But that is another, and by the way, this one is in the majority books. They say that this ilah and Allahu, they are the mubdal min and badal. Then the question comes, then mubdal min and badal, they have to match in their properties. And ilaha is in nasab status and Allahu is in rafa status. So they say that this Allahu, and the answer they have given is, they say that this ilaha, this word ilaha, is playing the role of ism of la. And they say that because of la nafi jins, its harka has changed into fatha, but it is fi mahalli rafa, because they say that the ism which plays the role of subject for any jumla ismiya, it has to be in reality actually in the nasab status. So they say that ilaha is apparently in nasab status, but it is fi mahalli rafa. Why? Because they say that because ilaha is playing the role of a subject, and subject or mubtada actually has rafa status. The rafa status of ilaha has only been replaced by the nasab because of la, but they say that Allahu is actually in rafa status and ilaha is fi mahalli rafa. And this,
So-
sorry, yeah.
Okay. So what did you say about illa, the middle word illa?
Abdul Bari, why they just say that this illah is giving the meaning of ghayr. But the problem is that if it is ghayr, then ghayr plays as mudaf, then it should make the next thing mudaf ilay. So this was the question. I did not find the answer, inshallah. So that is the reason I just said that they say that illah is playing the meaning of ghayr. Basically,
Ghayr, okay.
la ilaha ghayrullah.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. Right.
But because I do not have the answer at this stage, that if it is the role of ghayr, why Allah is still in rafa?
Yeah. Okay.
So inshallah, leave this point with me, inshallah. I am still searching, inshallah. I'll get back to you. But so far, this much is inshallah done. That they say that ilah is mubdal min, Allahu is badal and mubdal min together are the ism of Allah.
Yeah. Okay. But the other explanation is also fairly comprehensive, like, the Allah nafi jins and ism of nafi jins and khabar of nafi jins also, that completes the analysis anyway, I think.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just inshallah want to give you the answer that if illah is in the meaning of ghayr, how to explain it, inshallah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Next one is inshallah very simple. Okay, by the way, when I say ashhadu, I bear witness, the question is witness on what? See, so basically whatever the whole thing was is actually the maf'ul. So ashhadu was fail plus file was ana, and an la ilaha illallah, we have done the whole analysis, but the whole thing as a bigger picture is the maf'ul for ashhadu. Why? because it is giving the answer of what?
Yeah, yeah.
So brother, can
So-
we say like illa you said it's a ghair. So Allahu like muhalli and jar.
Actually, because brother, I did not find this one, so for this reason I was just a bit reluctant to say something.
Okay.
So I have a question on the word. There's a harp also an.
Yeah.
In reality, right?
Yeah, because
So,
and that and by the way, that an comes before fail mudare and it makes the mudare majzoom.
Right. So yeah, that's that. This an is actually the family of inna as being anna.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So an is fail mudare majzoom. That an will always come before fail mudare, right?
Yes.
So this anna in becoming an because there must be an ism after it.
Yeah.
And for an there must be a fail mudare after that.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And Brother Imtiaz, this we said that law of nafi that also require the ism of law and the khabar of law, and it has the same rule like the adna has the ism of anna in nasab status and the khabar of inna is in a rafa. It has the same.
Yeah, you can say yes. You can say yes because as you can see that after la nafi jins, the ism of la nafi jins is always in nasab status. You can say and khabar is normally as rafa. Yeah, you can say this. Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, I missed that. This is the ism of la ilaha illallah. Where is the khabar? What you said? What is the khabar?
I said that they say that the khabar of la nafi jins is mahzoof or employed, and that khabar is mawjoodun. La ilaha illallahu mawjoodun. No ilah other than Allah exists.
So in this case, we will say mawjoodun is a mahzoof
Yeah.
khabar.
Mawjoodun is the khabar mahzoof.
Okay, all right. Jazakallah.
Okay, inshallah, we can move forward now. Okay, so this vow is ataf, and then again ashhadu, same thing, it is fail mudare and it has a file as well inside of it. And then now you got the clear anna, so no problem at all. So anna will become the, you can call it simply harf nasab, or you can call it harf mushabba bil fail, the complete name, or simply say harf nasab, it's correct. So Muhammadun, ism of anna, and abduhu wa rasuluhu, abduhu mudaf ilay, rasuluhu mudaf ilay, and waw is connecting them. So these both of these mudaf ilay together will be the khabar of anna. Okay?
Yeah, that's very straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, straightforward, exactly. Yeah. So and then same thing, ashhadu has a fail and file, and rest of the whole thing, anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu, will become the maf'ul. Same thing as we said before. Why? Because it gives the answer for ashhadu, I testify word, anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. So this anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu, this whole thing will be the maf'ul. Is basically Ya Allah. This meme mushaddad at the end is a replacement for the Ya. Then this word barik is fail amr. Okay, it's fail amr, but because we have discussed last time as well that when we make dua, we use the same fail amr. Okay, so but when we are using in the context of dua, then it gives the meaning of talab or dua. So barik is fail amr, and it has a built-in file anta. Ala harf jar, Muhammadin majroor. So this jar majroor is muta'alliq bil barik. So barik is the fail in the context. So this jar majroor is muta'alliq bil barik. And then ala, again of this waw is connecting. Ala is jar, al is majroor, but because al and Muhammad are connected, Al mean family, Muhammad mean Muhammad, family of Muhammad. So this of is telling us that it will be mudaf mudaf ilay. So ala Muhammad together is another muta'alliq, in which ala is jar and ali Muhammad part is the majroor part, and which means that this first ala Muhammad and the second ala Muhammad, because of this middle vaw, they will be joined together and they will make one muta'alliq. Yes, even though they are two muta'alliq, but they are connected with the vaw. Okay, so they will together make one muta'alliq. Okay, and then kama, this word ka is again a jar. Okay, and ma barakta, this ma is ma of ism mawsool. So ma is ism mawsool, barakta is the sila, and barakta is fail madi, and madi number 6. Barakta is madi number 6. And we know that madi number 6 has a built-in file anta.
So this barakta is basically mazid fi, fail mazid fi,
Yes.
fa'ala.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah. So barakta is the sila. Okay, barakta will play the role of sila, but ala Ibrahim as a jar majroor, and ala ali Ibrahim, another jar majroor connected with this vaw, they will play the role of muta'alliq. So ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim together will be the muta'alliq bil barakta. Okay, so barakta along with its muta'alliq, the whole thing together will be the sila. Okay, barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim, the whole thing will be the sila. Ma was ism mawsool, barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim is the sila. Mawsool and sila together will be majroor for the ka. So it's basically a jar majroor fragment, and jar majroor fragment will be the muta'alliq bil this one, which basically mean you got two muta'alliq. One muta'alliq is ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, and second muta'alliq is kamas barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim. It looks like the whole big thing, but it's actually a jar majroor fragment. Why? Because ka is jar, and in the majroor part, ma is a mawsool, barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim, sila. Mawsool and sila together will be majroor for ka. So ka jar, ma barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim, majroor, jar majroor together, second muta'alliq for barik. Okay, so basically from Allahumma all the way to Ibrahim, this Ibrahim, it's one sentence. Okay, that is one point. Secondly, innaka, let me remove the other part so you can see clearly. Innaka, inna harf nasab, and ka is the ism, and hamidun sila. Okay, majidun, sorry, not sila, my apologies, khabar. Okay, so inna harf nasab, ka is the ism of inna, hamidun khabar of inna, and majidun second khabar of inna. Because remember, we have discussed the principle that when Allah's name come one after the other, we do not make them mawsoof sifa, we make them two khabar. So inna harf nasab, ka ism of inna, hamidun khabar of inna number 1, majidun khabar of inna number 2. So this last bit, innaka hamidun majid, is a complete sentence of inna on its own. Now let's translate the whole thing. Allahumma, O Allah, barik. Now I think we did not do the first part. In the first part, the word is salli. But as we know, there's no difference. And at this sallaita, in reality, so okay. So if I say Allahumma salli, or if I say Allahumma barik, that's the whole difference. In terms of analysis, there's no difference, because now, right now, you said that the barik is the fail amr, playing the role of dua. In this case, salli is the fail amr and playing the role of dua. Likewise, in this case, I said that barakta fail madi is the sila of ma, and in this case, sallaita, again, fail madi number 7 is the sila of ma. So there's no difference in terms of analysis. Okay. So Allahumma, oh Allah, if I say salli, you send blessings. Okay. Now, obviously, they are, once you say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad and then you say Allahumma barik ala Muhammad. Okay. Now, if you translate salli as the blessing, then what would you do with the barik? So for this reason, when you look at the translation, they translate Allahumma salli, oh Allah, you honor, oh Allah, you give honor to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to the family of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, kama sallaita, as you gave honor ala Ibrahim, to Ibrahim and to the family of Ibrahim, innaka, indeed you are hamidun, praiseworthy, majidun, majestic, right? And when you say Allahumma barik, oh Allah, give barakah, oh Allah, give blessings to who? To Prophet Muhammad and to the family of Prophet Muhammad, as you gave blessings to Ibrahim and to family of Ibrahim, indeed you are praiseworthy and majestic.